But if you were to just tap into a possibility for a visionary practice today, it would be the place where your belief of what is to come, you kind of fast forward to all possible universes and you go to the one, you kind of send yourself to the one where you have achieved this next milestone that you want to reach. You've achieved your whole vision. And maybe we even just go like to the next lantern. You go there and just feel it out. What does it feel like to be in that place where not your dreams have come true, but like where you've lit that next lantern, where you are expressing more of yourself, more of your vision, where your team has won, where the reason you're here is more present in the world.
And while you're feeling it out, the thing that makes this a practice is you ask that part of yourself, what needs to be done today to get me one step closer? It's a practice. It's not just like a nice thought exercise where you say, that's going to be so nice when I get there, and I have no idea where that is. It's saying, like, what does that future version of me need from today me? And that is your visionary practice, is like having that conversation and then doing. If it's not something you can put on your calendar, it's not technically a visionary practice. The next piece of the triangle, this is the one that is very close at hand. I guarantee you might think, oh, I'm so bad at taking care of myself. I really, prioritize myself last. I guarantee you're already doing some of these beautifully. The next piece is sustaining rituals, and this is the fuel. This is the things we need to burn. And that's sleep. That's how you're nourishing yourself with food, with relationships. It is the basics. It's often the free stuff.
Yeah. Sleep,
exercise.
Sleep is free. Moving your body is free. But these are the things that in pursuit of, sorry, I'm going to
crushing it, squish it. Don't squish it. Don't smash your goal.
in pursuit of those, it's often the things that we put, first on the get rid of. Like, look, I don't need to stop for lunch. I don't need to eat healthy stuff. I don't need to take time out to exercise. I don't need to, get good quality sleep. I can answer emails right up until the moment that I, need to just pass out from exhaustion.
The laptop in my lap.
Yeah, laptop in my bed kind of thing. That's in many ways the picture of success that our culture holds up. And to be kind of countercultural and actually create your own tending triad, it requires autonomy and your own creativity for how do you start to shift in the direction of prioritizing your sleep, prioritizing your relationships, prioritizing your mental well-being, even if it's like journaling about things that stress you out, working with a coach. We are coaches, but we also have coaches. Like these are all things that we invest in order to not just walk our talk, but actually create more heat, create more energy. In this case, give more fuel for the fires that we have for our business.
Yeah. And this is all the stuff you quote unquote should do. When I burnt out, I literally told people the secret recipe to having an amazing life. And I figured out that knowing something intellectually is very different than actually practicing it.
So let's just take a moment as you're listening and choose one thing from what we mentioned, or even something that comes to mind that's outside of that, that you want to take from something that's for granted and turn it into a ritual, right? We call these sustaining rituals on purpose. That choice of language is such that rather than saying, well, yeah, I eat whatever's there, or I eat when I can, or I sleep when, I sleep when the baby lets me, or any of those things. You say, how can I actually turn this into something very conscious, something very deliberate, and something that actually ties into what it is that I want to create with my business and with my life?
Just pick one. pick one and be with that one. Experiment with that one for as long as it takes. For kind of context on this, sleep was mine. I had terrible sleep patterns, and then we had kids, so sleep was something I knew I could totally function without. But when our children got to an age where we could sort of rely on our sleep a little bit more, I spent a good 2 years working my way to being able to actually be in bed for 8 hours, sometimes sleeping for quite a majority of that. And I still have insomnia sometimes. We still have middle of the night wake ups, but I did not try to stack on, okay, not only am I going to sleep and be in bed for 8 hours, but I'm also going to work out 2 hours a day, and I'm going to journal, and then I'm going to meditate for another hour before bed, and have not just one coach, but 5 coaches. Like, you don't need to stack it up. It just needs to be the one thing that would nourish you and sustain you, and that you can slowly expand into. So that is sustaining rituals. So important. We all know exactly what we need to do. Just pick one thing and do it for a month. See how it goes.
One thing that's really fun with this is what we call smart accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Have an accountability buddy. Maybe here at Club PF, we have our own community as well, where we invite business owners to share what they're up to and be accountable to the community, not as some kind of weird, punishment or self-scolding, but like as a way to enhance their own fire, right? As a way to grow their own inner fire.